everybody, my name is Braxton Clark, and welcome to a small presentation that I put together about a project that I've been undertaking for quite a while now. This project is a map of archaeological sites, military archaeological sites, I should say, in Flanders. I'm hoping that this will be something that will significantly aid battlefield archaeology. This type of map, it's very, very in-depth, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to make something of a difference with this. Now, one thing I would like to say is that I had planned on making a more up-to-date video about this because I have added quite a few things, but I've been having some serious trouble with the mapping software. I use QGIS, and for some reason it's giving me a lot of trouble with the rasters. So this is, I kind of just threw this together from a PowerPoint presentation that I made of the initial project when I was in college. Also, before I get into this, I would like to point out that I am just one man, and it's sort of difficult for one man to undertake such a big project like this and do all the research and all that. So if there are inaccuracies here and there, I apologize for that. Let me know. As an archaeologist and a history buff, it's very important for me to display information accuracy, and that's my #1 priority in things like this. So without further ado, here we go. The first data set that I made was, I found this Thor data set, this spreadsheet on a website online, and I'm not sure if it has all bombing missions done on Germany by the Allies, but it has a large number of bombing missions on document here. So basically, I narrowed it down, and right now we have the target's location, what type of target the raid was targeting, the latitude and longitude, of course, for the mapping aspect, and the tons of high explosive, fragmentation, and/or incendiary that were used. Also, the total tons. Now, this is important to me because when you're going out to do battlefield archaeology, you're often digging up a lot of explosive, a lot of it. And being able to know what types of explosive you're dealing with when you're going out there, tons of high explosive or tons of incendiary, fragmentation, whatever, I believe can go a long way towards safety when you're out in the field. As for fortification data, that was a lot more difficult. There wasn't really a spreadsheet that I could download directly from the internet and then just flesh out. This is a lot more difficult because I had to actually go on and find these fortifications myself. I found them on a website. I believe it was tracesofwar.com or something like that. It appears to be a legit website, but they didn't have coordinates, so I really just had to go by address and go on Google Maps and try to find the coordinates myself. And, well, I've done some success with that. I'll show you that later. But it was just a lot more difficult because I actually had to cross-reference between the website and the Google Earth just to be able to get coordinates. But here we have the nation that built the specific fortification. That's under nation. Usage is where we put the nations that used it. Sometimes we have bunkers that were built by one country but were used by another. Germany often used some bunkers as command centers and such when they were trying to fend off the Allies after the D-Day invasions and when they were pushing towards Germany. We also have the name of the bunkers, or at least the designation that was given on the website, the type of fortification, the section it was part of, and latitude and longitude of the fortification, as well as the years that it were active in terms of military service. Also included in the dataset are 3 vectors of supporting data. These are the locations of roads, railroads, and waterways. These are vectors of modern-day Belgium, but many of these have not really changed since the 1940s, and even possibly since they were built, that could be, all the way back in the 1800s or even further. A lot of these roads really have not changed. However, I will also include other data sets such as aircraft crash sites, sites of major events or battles, as well as the locations of individual finds from out in the field when we're actually doing the digging. Those will all be in the data set, and they will all be in the map ideally. So this is the small sample that I have here of the map. Let me full screen this so that you can see it better. What we have here are fortifications. You can see here, here, and here. Wait, here. As well as the bombardments. You got some all over the place. And you can also see the roads, waterways, and railways. So one of the things that I can see that this would have a particular use in the future is that in the case of documents that cannot be found or missing information, we can look at these maps and just try and put ourselves in the shoes of a tactician at this time, especially in a time where the military standards were shifting from major commanders behind the lines to field commanders, such as the Germans used, especially in the initial blitzkrieg tactics. So, for example, and I know just using the data that I have here, this is just an example. If we have a bunker here, a bunker here, and a bunker here, we don't really know what happened here. The documents can't be found or were destroyed or whatever have you. We might be able to look at this and say, well, there's bunkers here and a bunker here, not really much of a defense through the middle. So if I were a tactician, I would try to split right through here, perhaps send armored units down here to deal with this bunker while sending infantry to attack these bunkers from behind, or something like that. The point I'm trying to get at here is that these maps could possibly be used to put ourselves in the shoes of commanders and actually decipher what happened in the absence of actual paperwork and such things, which can be incredibly useful, I hope. So this is what I was talking about earlier, cross-referencing with Google Earth. This is, obviously you can see the bunker marked right here on the map, and well, you can also see it right here. It was pretty difficult to, actually find these things. It took a lot of cross-referencing and a lot of patience, but I eventually got it done, and I'm really proud of the result. So, yeah, that's about all I have to show you as of the moment. I'm hoping that eventually I'll be able to put out another better example of the map that I'm trying to make. I'm still working on trying to get fortifications in the spreadsheet, and I'm still working on trying to document all sorts of things from traces of war and all of that. So I'll try and keep you guys updated on what's going on. Thanks for watching.